To another episode of Hanging from the Balcony. Ooh, I'm gonna try this with your cast.
Ooh.
Ooh. Me, Sir Jarod, at Nathan L. Betts.
Hi.
Thomas the Doubter. Rudy. Lois the Professor.
Hello.
Kim, Miss Professor. Welcome to another show, everybody. Miss Professor.
Yay!
Hello, Miss Professor.
Oh, God.
Just a little bit more, Jeremy.
I'm trying to get as close as I can.
No,
okay?
bring the music down just a pinch more.
Sorry.
That's all right. You'll learn.
I want to.
You got it. That's right there.
So
right there.
good.
Right there. I know.
Anyways, guys,
Love
welcome
that.
to another episode where we talk about movies, and more movies on this podcast.
Yeah, we do that.
That's what we do, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what we do.
That's kind of all
Stuff
we do.
like that.
We could do something different. I mean, okay, we'll just do that.
Let's go streaking through the quad. No, okay. Let's not do that.
You go first.
Okay.
Right behind you.
Let's put chewing tobacco in our pee holes.
Ooh, yeah.
Right, guys?
What?
That sounds painful.
You know?
Guys?
Let's all do human centipede.
No, shut up! That's totally unprofessional and unacceptable.
Thank God this isn't... I want number 3!
Come on! You are...
We should put Kenny as number 3.
I think Tom will be section 1, so all of his doubt will go to us.
No, I don't want Thomas with his mouth. He just gets so sad sometimes. So
You taste it? It tastes
he gets depressing sometimes. He's so critical.
Would it work the same way, like with the can and the string, like, but through?
No, I don't want it to.
So
It
the
tastes
person
like
back can talk to
disdain
the one
and
in front?
bitterness.
No.
Moving on.
Come on.
Thank you.
Come on.
Who said moving on?
No
Got
one
you.
did. Human centipede. That's going to be a
Shut
homework.
up.
You
It's
brace
not going to be
yourself.
homework.
Brace yourself.
It's not going to be homework.
Oh, this week, new that came out, I believe, was World War Z.
Yes.
And I think that we've all seen it, right?
Yes.
Can't
Thomas?
say that I have. I was busy in Vegas.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's a good
so-
excuse.
He was in Vegas.
Vegas is a good excuse always.
I've seen 3 movies so far this summer that I thought were fantastic, and that was one of them. You need to see it.
Yes. It
What?
Was, it was
World,
good.
Or the
wait,
other
World
two.
War Z.
Yeah.
This is the end
Yes.
you have to see.
This is the end.
This is the end.
Is my
Well, I
number
saw
1.
that, yeah.
Number 2, World War Z, and number 3 was that other movie with the
The Lone Ranger.
Superman.
The one
Whoa, you guys like Superman?
I thought Superman was
Superman.
okay.
You didn't like Superman?
I hated it.
Oh, big
that's
freaking
right.
surprise.
Well, but I mean, obviously, it's logic behind that.
You just
Do you have logic?
You just,
No, it was.
Everything you've ever said you wanted in a Superman movie was in that movie specifically.
Oh,
They
did
sat
I
down and
mention-
said, let's write a movie
did I
for
mention-
Thomas.
Did I?
And they did, and now you've
Didn't
hated
I
it.
mention that? I mean, I didn't think I would have to mention that it had to have a decent script or
That's a
good
decent
writing.
script.
It does.
That's good
And
writing.
the transitions were really good too. Let me tell you. I mean, Lois Lane, following a trail that doesn't exist. I mean,
Just because we enjoyed a film doesn't mean that we loved every aspect
I
of
know,
it. There
but
were some
it's-
flaws, but I
it-
thought overall it had heart, it had emotion, and
Just
I loved
admit
it.
that you hate everything, and
that
we can
kid,
move on from
that
there.
Henry Cavill looks like
Oh
Superman.
my God!
That's
okay,
Superman.
no, okay.
I am not gay,
Yeah.
but I would take it from that dude. Oh my
the-
God, is a specimen. Sorry, Thomas, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say the cast was excellent. I
Yeah.
just think that
Except
the
Amy
script
Adams.
didn't do him justice as far as that goes.
You didn't like Amy
Like-
Adams? She's adorable.
She sucked a bag of
Lois?
dicks.
Well-
No way, no, not at all.
For
I
me, she
hated
was
her.
the weakest part of everything, but I still liked it, and I felt I
Oh, she
loved
was-
it. I love the story. I love the fathers.
No,
it
she
was
like,
good.
what?
I
She
didn't like
was
this.
It was good.
CIA.
I still have to see that.
No, it was.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you guys all saw it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen it?
No,
What?
that's on the list for
Boy,
this weekend.
You might hate it.
The ending
You
was.
might be on Thomas's side. You never know.
That goes against
No,
everything
it doesn't.
Superman.
No, actually, go back and watch Superman 2 and tell me if the same thing doesn't happen.
Oh yeah, those.
Oh, that's right.
other
He
Superman
takes away
movies.
Zod's powers and kicks him down a hole, and he falls to his death. We don't see him land, but we know he just falls. He's
Yeah.
like, "See ya,
Superman.
We didn't see Thor
Superman-
land in
Superman
Cabin in the
2.
Woods either.
Superman 2.
That's what I'm talking about. In
I know, but
Superman
at the
2,
same
he
time,
murders
when
Zod.
you're
And
trying
he also
to
murders the deaf guy, the
When-
weird guy. It's like, "Ugh."
when you're rebooting a Superman franchise and
Yeah.
you want people to view Superman in a certain light, that's not what you do, because that's not what Superman does.
Well, he felt bad.
But this is his first mission. This is why, for the rest of his run, he won't want people to die. He won't kill because he'll say, "I've been forced to do that once, and it'll
I
never
assume
happen
that
again."
he'd do that because of what his parents taught him, and
Well,
all that.
Daddy-
His
okay,
dad
American
was
Pie.
like, "Don't
First
save
of all-
children."
How many times did you go and do the exact thing your parents told you not to do, though, in your lifetime?
Yeah, but I'm not Superman.
Never.
But we're talking about a character that's already been written, and everyone knows what Superman's all about. It's not like he can't relate to people like us. And in fact, they show that like he's meant for more. To bring him on down to a human level, that I wouldn't want.
So
that.
answer me this to take it to a place it shouldn't go. How could Lois Lane have sexual relations with Superman? In all reality, it would shoot right through her, would it not?
Not if he pulls out.
Well, and are we? 'Cause
See on the
then,
tees?
then you're just going on and assuming that Kryptonian sexual, the way it works is the same as humans.
Exactly. On Krypton, when they have their orgasm, poo shoots out their butt. At super speeds, I'll grant you that. But she should be fine.
And
as
it
long as she's
splats
safe.
against a wall, and it's always in the
And
shape of
also-
an S, and it means hope.
And
I mean,
also,
so-
though, like you're also talking about, as far as you're talking about sex, and Lewis here brought up toilet humor.
Right.
I was gonna say that
I did.
you don't
Thank
assume like you'd think bodily functions like that aren't gonna have super anything.
What if Superman had Super China?
God, you're dumb.
I'm just saying.
I hate you.
Like a set of plates?
No.
Super China,
China
the buffet, which will literally turn my guts inside out. Yeah. Super China, yeah. He will have the most super shit ever.
Yeah.
I can tell by everyone's faces I'm pissing everyone off with my
There's some
stupidness.
As soon as you
validity to that.
walk in there, your stomach goes.
So my question to you, Thomas, is just because we have an established character, does that mean that character must be static always in every version we tell?
Absolutely not. But that's when you bring in like a struggle or temptation or anything like that.
You mean like
But if he
having
does- but
not
if-
wanting to kill someone and having them shooting lasers at a family, and he's like, "I've got no other choice but to break his neck."
Spoilers. But
Not that happens, but if it were to happen,
no. Well, I don't think that's something you introduce in a first Superman movie.
I think it's introduced
It's not-
specifically so that in sequels, when he says "I won't kill," he can reference that and say, "I was pushed to kill once, and I won't do it again."
And also, it's not really his first Superman movie. It's the first of this one, but
right,
it's not the first Superman movie ever.
the idea that Superman
It's a reboot,
never
though.
kills, that he never kills, is not really true. He's killed in the comic books. He's killed in the other movies, the previous movies.
Despite that, he's a Boy Scout, and in the
He is a
comics,
Boy
and
Scout.
in the comics, when he does kill something, it's a big deal. They don't. It's not
I
something.
think
they
it's
do
a big deal
lightly.
for him in this movie, and I think in the second movie we'll see that he's dealing with it. Now,
Yeah.
I might be wrong,
also,
but I think he'll deal with it in the second movie.
To reference it to another superhero movie, how pissed off was everybody when the trilogy of Spider-Man came out and then this newest version came out and retold the exact same origin story, and everybody's like, why the fuck do we have to know this? We already knew it from the previous one. So
it's gotten to the point where we really don't need Spider-Man. You know what else?
Well, and
speaking of Spider-Man, have you heard they've already greenlit 3 and 4?
3 and 4 for 2015 and 18 or something like that, or.
They cut out all the scenes with Mary Jane Watson in 2 because they're just going to move her into the 3rd and 4th movie.
I thought they cut her completely.
There's rumors that they may have cut,
actress.
They may have cut the actress. They might recast her. The girl they got to play an actress is kind of an up and comer. I don't know who she is specifically, but she's going to be in one of those teenage.
She's no Emma
fantasy
Stone
movies. Yeah, well, she's not, but Emma Stone
is going to die in this one.
Not necessarily. I've heard that they might fake us out and not kill her in this one and kill her in the next one.
Isn't it supposed to be Sinister Six in this next one, anyways?
Yeah, they're going to do a Sinister Six.
Rhino.
Are they going to? They're going to introduce all of them in one movie, or are they going to?
Maybe.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah. They're going to do that Batman that has 4 villains in it. Which Batman was that?
The thing is,
the third one.
The third one did.
Too many villains.
Too many villains.
Spoils the soup.
Well, the third Spider-Man on the original franchise, they only had 2, and that was too many.
And they what were they thinking with the third? Oh, don't get me started on that movie.
I know.
Sandman is the worst villain.
Why would you put him
ever? And then
why would
Venom, who could be a cool villain,
why would you not just focus on that?
Destroyed.
Oh my god! And in there for fucking 25 minutes. Yeah. Why would you focus on Sandman for 45 minutes?
Why are you guys? I mean, you don't even have to focus on the villains when you just have to focus on Parker after he gets the symbiote. As far as dancing,
that becomes evil and starts dancing and playing piano. Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah, there's so many things that went wrong. I'm actually really sorry I brought that up, but
I'm angry now.
I am kind of pissed off too. No, but that's back to the Superman thing though. Like, how many times do we have to hear how how it originated? Like, this is a version of the origin story that we've never heard or seen before.
Well, that's fine. I mean, and you can go wherever you want to with the plot, and they did the overall plot I didn't have a problem with, like bringing in Zod, the other Kryptonians, giving more background story on Krypton.
Did you think it was disingenuous to the storyline? Its original storylines?
I'm not even comparing it to the original storylines, but I just thought it was a little soon to show that side of Superman as far as
the struggle that he goes through.
No, not necessarily that. So much as him killing, and in this way, the way he kills him, I was just like blown away. Like, well, really? I mean, that's okay.
You know, I was a little bit blown away by the amount of people who die. Like, I thought they level Metropolis.
Like, I'm pretty sure the Avengers had less.
I was talking.
Damage.
I was talking with Adam, really? And my friend Adam, that is the video producer of this one, and he just started just started a new video gaming podcast called The Cake Is a Lie. Check that out. It just went up yesterday.
Ooh. We should check that out. That sounds really good.
We were talking, and he was reading it online. Someone went through and like surveyed how much damage was done, and it was like
7 trillion or something like
that. It was like in the trillions of dollars of worth of damage done.
What about people killed? Skyscrapers are just powder.
Yeah, like over 100,000 people died or something like that.
A little weird that, and maybe you guys brought it up, that Superman had been absorbing the sun's energy for almost 30 years, and then the Kryptonians arrived, and they're nearly as strong as he is.
That's a problem.
I accepted Zod because of his whole speech, where he's like, I'm bred to be this, but his minions being
they show obviously awesome. that Superman's not as good a fighter as the soldiers. Like they're out performing him on skill level, but what I had a problem with as far as Zod goes, I don't care if he's a better fighter, but the fact is, I'll take off my armor and suddenly I can float in the sky just like you, and I'm as strong as you, and I have laser vision just like you, even though it took you 30 years of your life to.
He's born to be.
No, that's skill, that's soldiers and stuff. But radiation and absorbing that power, that's not something you learn. It just happens.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's tough to figure out because they say there's no kryptonite in the movie, but every time he goes into the Kryptonian atmosphere, he loses his powers, right? Isn't that what kryptonite is in a way? I mean, kryptonite's supposed to poison him also, but one of the things it does is weaken him, right? And so
Well, and then you also saw when the ship transported or whatever, it took pieces of Krypton with it. As far as that was kind of interesting, like they actually threw that in there. You see it get sucked in.
I read somewhere that Supergirl was on the spaceship he found, and that she'll be in sequels. I just read that randomly on the internet. It's
Well, then
almost
you
certainly
could
not true.
easily, if that was, I was gonna say, if you had Supergirl, you could throw in a Brainiac.
Yeah, actually, I hope for Brainiac in the next movie. They'll give us Lex Luthor, but I would love to see Brainiac. That's a good one to go with. Okay, Superman. Is that what we were discussing today?
Yeah, we just no. That was from
No, I think
carryover
that-
from last week since Thomas
Yeah,
wasn't here. We actually need to talk about World War Z.
Yeah,
World War Z.
Yeah.
Did you guys see it?
Yes.
Yes.
I was in Vegas.
Brad Pitt's in it.
Plan B Production, correct?
Yeah.
Which is his
Yeah.
company.
Yeah.
Did he buy that outright from Jennifer Aniston, or is she still involved with it too?
I have no idea, but I'm sure. Anyway, it had a lot of production problems. They filmed the final sequence, like the last 30 minutes was just this huge battle in Russia, kind of like the one in Israel, where just millions of zombies are everywhere. And it didn't play well. And so they brought in Damon Lindelof, who wrote Lost and Prometheus, and he rewrote the ending with one other guy. The airplane sequence, and then the whole scene in the
World
facility.
Health Organization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, it was not big and huge, but for some reason that scene was a lot more interesting.
It
to
was
me.
very
Yeah.
interesting.
Mine
Yeah.
too.
I agree.
So I liked the ending.
When they're trying to sneak by, I was just like,
Oh my. Yeah.
With the squeakiest
Yeah.
door possible.
Yes.
Well,
Oh my God.
In a facility. No, I didn't get a chance to see the movie. I did read the book. I'm just curious, Kim, because you read the book as
Oh,
well.
jeez, don't ask me
No,
that.
no.
I don't remember.
No. Oh, I was just gonna
I
say.
know. That's why I say don't ask me.
Why, okay, I was just.
I wish.
It wasn't a comparison. What I'm curious
Yeah.
is, why do you think that they didn't go with the storytelling the book went through, as far as instead of the only thing they have in common is the title, pretty much.
From what I know, they did the film like the book, and it wasn't action packed enough. Like, it didn't have enough sequences where things were happening.
I see.
So they went back and pretty much redid a whole lot of stuff and added things. So they changed it to make it more movie-like, more summer blockbuster, and less like the story.
Tisk, tisk.
That's what I know.
That's
But
a bummer.
Yeah.
Some things are just hard to
and
adapt, though,
What,
right?
what
That's what
was
it was all
really
Yeah.
And it made money. World
It
War
did.
Z did well.
it's about getting people, those zombie craze thing people. That's
Yeah.
the whole
Why-
point.
Well-
Zombies. Why are we so into zombies?
I don't know.
We still are.
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, the thing about it for the book is, I love books. We do books. We love literature. We love film. They're not the same
They're not.
thing. They don't have the same quality. So sometimes books just can't be films, and sometimes they're even better as films. Sometimes books just, I don't know. So I thought book was great. Read it. I think the film was super. I was
To me,
clawing Lewis's hand to pieces.
She was very
It
frightened
was so
throughout the whole
intense.
thing.
It was
Scared as can be.
fantastic. I loved it.
but did it feel like a theater movie? It didn't feel like a theater movie to me. It felt like an at-home, lights off kind of a movie. Like, it's a good movie.
It might work
But to
well
me, in
at
the
home.
theater was just
Yeah.
like, they could have just watched this at home, and
Yeah,
they would have
okay.
probably have had more feeling than in the theater.
Yeah, it might be
Possibly.
scary at home. I could see that.
I thought Brad, what is his name? Brad Pitt?
Yeah, Brad.
Yeah,
Brad Pitt.
that guy. Okay. No, I thought he was great. I was
Yeah.
kind of skeptical, and I don't know. I just see him as like that. What is that Greek film that he's in?
Oh, Troy.
Yeah, I just see like Brad
a
Pitt
cute
Troy, right? Is like
actor.
that hunk who's just, he did
In it for eye candy.
fantastic.
I think
He
Brad
was
Pitt
such a great dad.
is
I
one of those
believed his
actors
character.
who we tend to underestimate. If
Yeah,
you look back
I
at his
did.
career,
I did.
he's got Fight Club, which was amazing. He did a good job in World War Z.
Snatch.
Snatch.
Yeah.
Snatch,
Yeah.
which is
God, I love
amazing.
that.
13 Monkeys, or 12
Oh.
Monkeys.
Yes.
Which is he's amazing
I've never
in.
seen it.
Oh, super.
That one's like really bizarre and really good.
Yeah.
Oh, he's done some other
Bruce
stuff
Willis
too that
too.
I'm just not even thinking of right now. But he's been in about 5 or 7.
Oh, the head one.
Really?
Oh
the
yeah,
head-
seven. I was just I was going through all my movies
he's
earlier.
been
And I
in,
was like,
like-
Yeah.
what's in the box?
Well, and he was in California.
Meet Joe Blow.
Whatever that was
With
called.
the
With
K.
the K. California with the K,
K.
which was good.
Yeah.
But he's really quite
He's
good,
good.
in a number of films. He's got a few not so good movies. But look at him, then compare him to another big box office guy like Will Smith, who, when you line his movies up,
Crap.
I don't like any of them.
Stinker,
I mean,
good.
Stinker,
yeah.
stinker.
and the good ones are like, Men in Black, which was at best a 3 out of 5 for me.
The
At best.
first one?
The
Or-
first one.
Yeah.
And then the sequels, like, who gives a shit, right? So, I mean, he's a big time actor, but I think he makes some good movies.
Yes.
Oh, but it was all there for me. Double thumbs up, World War Z.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Thought it was great.
It was a lot of fun. It's good. And there's some really cool moments.
Well, and when we have
I get ya.
a world full of zombie themed things that are just overwhelmingly too many of them, and when you're like, well, what the fuck do we need one more for? And then you get this, you're like, I guess we need one more because we don't have this.
You're
story.
right. It's actually very impressive that with as many zombie things as we have out there, we
It's
can go see a
one-
new one and still be like, yeah, okay.
Well, I would have.
Yeah.
I walked out of there and I was like, I would have never thought of that. I would have never thought of that.
Yeah.
What was,
They infects himself with something.
Okay.
Terminal disease.
Like a terminal disease.
Yeah.
He's like, I need something really deadly but curable, and
Yes.
he injects himself with it, and he like gets cut off from communication, so he can't pick like the right one, so he just has to guess. And it's because he's Brad Pitt, he picks the right one, of course. But
Yeah, so the zombies don't he'd put together all the things he'd seen in all the cities and how there were certain people who were not being attacked and mauled by the zombies, and they were the
horde would
ones
just go around them.
that were terminal. The zombies saw them as
But that's a fun little mystery.
Yeah,
right?
because like
was
a predator doesn't attack something that's sick; they can like sense it.
yeah.
So that's like a fun mystery to
Most
solve.
predators attack the sickening.
And not only
Not in this case. They explain why.
Like, they were
Yeah,
affected.
they explain.
and I know we're talking about the movie. It's just like because the book was different in its own aspect as far as the book actually begins with after the war, and it's this reporter, and he's going around the world, and he's asking, and we're not talking about just military guys and stuff like that, but he's asking the average people, he's asking governments, he's asking officials, and he goes as far as to explain like what the different nations did, the economies, how it spread so fast. I mean.
Which is probably awesome in a book and would be terrible on screen.
That would it would be boring.
Could you see
it's-
it? Brad Pitt going, so tell me, Russia, what did you do?
No, well,
I'm Brad Pitt.
To be fair, you do a writing class. I was gonna say there's easily like some ways where, and there's movies also where they are in fact interviewing someone who's like old or been around.
Yes,
and
but when
they-
you do an interview like that, you always go get just a Paul Giamatti and have him be the interviewer, right? You don't get Brad Pitt
Oh, no,
to sit
yeah,
there and
which
ask
is
questions
fine.
and then show
Flashbacks.
scenes and
But
flashbacks with other characters.
to me, I thought it was when I was reading the book and I realized you're not going to talk about the economy in a movie. Obviously,
Right.
You'd more focus on more exciting stories. But I thought that
That would-
would have been doable.
Yeah,
in that
like
it
in a
was- it's
flashback
different.
or something. That would have been kind of
And
interesting.
especially with we're talking about military blunders, like we attack the zombies the way a normal you'd attack another military, and that's obviously not going to work. You're going
Right.
to blow
They
zombies
did,
up.
they did kind of they covered that when they went to North Korea or South Korea,
Yeah.
whatever the
South
fuck
Korea,
they went.
South Korea.
They went to South Korea, and there was like they were explaining how like they kind of fucked up a little bit, like a lot.
I love the South Korea.
Yeah, the whole South
sequence.
Korea thing was
really cool.
oh my god, like. They had this whole thing where they had to refuel the plane. How the fuck do you refuel a plane with zombies
And they
attacking you?
used bikes. It was so
bicycles.
cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Bicycles, because they make a lot of noise, they'd go and make a shit ton of noise, and yeah, it was interesting. I really liked that.
Hey, honey.
Yeah. Oh, how pissed we! I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Like, okay, here you're gonna watch your husband go out into the middle of God knows where. You're gonna call him.
Yeah.
Why don't you wait for him to call you?
I'm lonely.
You
I don't know,
stupid
guys, I haven't
shit.
seen this movie, but it sounds like a valid complaint.
Oh my god, that was I got out of there. I was like, "Why the fuck?"
I was mad
Stupid
at her
bitch!
until I thought, he could have put his phone on silent.
That's true. Yeah.
That's what I tell
Hey,
him.
we have to go sneak
you
out.
called me in the middle of class, and I'll be like, you're the one that has control over your cell phone ringing.
That's true.
That's true.
There's a lot to be
That's
said
true,
about
but still, he told her when he left, he's like, I'll call you every day when I get a chance. So leave him the fuck
But the
alone.
phone dropped out. That's why she got worried.
Yeah,
so.
That's true.
It
Valid.
just
Maybe
it
zombies
was
nearby, but I'll give him a
fabricated
call.
drama.
Yeah, I know.
Obviously.
It's annoying girl
He's
things
going
because
on a
that kind of shit
dangerous-
happens in real life.
He's going on a dangerous mission. I better call him.
Yeah. I mean, he might
But see, in
he
real
might
life-
die if I call this, but I really miss him and stuff.
In real life, she doesn't make that call.
Yeah.
It's just some filmmakers like,
That's why I said it's fabricated
Yeah.
drama.
what can we do to get these zombies
yeah.
riled up?
That's his
Have his dumbass wife call her.
Yeah, let's play
Some
out the
guy-
stereotypes, right?
Some screenwriter guys at
Couldn't
home
he
going,
like knock over a can or
Women.
something?
Yeah, I hate my wife interrupted this fucking writing session. Bingo!
hey babe, you inspired my show.
Yeah, you made it into my movie. Don't read too much into it though, okay?
All the dumbass things that get said. You inspired them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, okay, so that's how it came about.
Yeah, good movie. I liked it.
I have to imagine every woman in America sitting in the theater going, great.
yeah.
Yet another scene where the women fuck it up for
Yeah.
all the men. Good. Thank you, America.
But
Thank you, Hollywood.
that is a good point. That was equal parts their fault. He
It really
could
is.
very easily turned that thing off. So,
So that was the-
both of them are
Well,
dumbasses.
all I gotta say is, even though it's World War Z, watch it, Tom.
Yes.
Just watch it. Don't think of it as World War Z.
Yeah,
It's
just
not
watch
the
it
book.
as a
It's
zombie.
Don't think
not
it's- yeah,
the book.
it's not the book.
It's its own story.
It's just a.
It's got the same title.
It's a decent zombie movie
Doubting
with the same
Thomas.
movie.
Sorry.
Look at
that-
you. I see the doubt in
Just
your
think of it-
face. I just
think-
see it. It's just there.
Just think of it as World Zombie.
It kind of like
World War Z is a
say
good name
yes.
for a story,
Yes.
right? A
Agreed.
What is it? I'm Legend. The zombies looked like the way they were moving remind me
Oh,
of the
so
zombies in
shitty.
that. No, it's a shitty movie, but what I mean
The
is
special effects.
the way they're crawling over
Yeah.
each other almost in an inhuman sort
It's
of
an
ways.
interesting,
But they
the
kind
use of that is pretty interesting
Yeah.
throughout the movie, though.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
No
No grumble.
So you guys watched Feast, right? Finally,
Okay,
someone
now-
watched Feast.
This has been an ongoing joke for how many episodes now? About 12?
A million
like
episodes.
500.
Honestly, I kind of want to keep saying it, even though we finally watched it. I'm like, oh, Amanda, damn it, we forgot to watch Feast.
Longtime
Not
favorite
all of us,
listener
yeah.
Amanda requested Feast,
Yeah.
but it's not available. And this is my big complaint with Feast. It's not available for instant streaming. You have to
Get
pay
it.
Amazon.
for it or something.
You
Or-
can, yeah, Amazon,
or
rental,
disc
or disc
with
on
Netflix.
Netflix.
But you're
Right.
gonna have to pay like separately for it. So Kim and I, we get discs. So I finally got the disc in, and we watched it. And holy shit, that movie's so good!
It is
it's
so good.
so good.
Yeah.
Now it's a scary movie, and it's one of those bar out in the middle of nowhere. There's 11 people inside.
Classic isolation with the cast
Classic.
of like every single different type of
Yeah,
person
a
you could think of.
stereotypical person.
And you
Yeah,
get
yeah.
introduced to all the characters really quickly, and in a way that's super cool.
Yes.
And then
Kind of Guy
suddenly-
Ritchie-esque.
Very Guy
Yes.
Ritchie. Like they freeze
Yeah.
the screen and it'll be like bam, and it'll say,
Stats,
Bozo.
name.
What's he up to? And it has little stats that play across the screen.
And
Lifetime
life expectancy.
expectancy.
That's fun. Yeah, I like
You're
that.
lucky to make it to morning. You know?
Hides in small spaces.
Yeah.
So they're all just sitting in this bar being bar folk or whatever, and then suddenly the front door just busts open. This guy
Almost knocks it off
and
the
this
hinges.
Super cool guy comes
Thor-esque
in.
guy,
Yeah.
like just
and he's like,
If you guys want to survive, do everything I say.
and they're like, who the hell are you? And he goes, I'm the guy that's gonna save your asses. And he holds up like this monster head that he like got off some
And
monster.
then it's pauses right there. It's like
hero.
Hero.
He's the hero.
That's his name. Hero. Life expectancy. Kicking ass through the whole movie.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
And this movie
And it's
just does
just-
whatever it wants. It gets cooler and cooler.
And it doesn't shy away from gore. If you're gonna
It's
see some
very gory.
nasty fun
And-
stuff.
and stuff that you haven't really seen.
Oh, and
before.
so many
my God.
maggots. You'll
I'm not
never,
even going to spoil it.
I
Because
Yeah.
gotta say maggots.
there are twists in this
Yeah.
movie that you have to see.
Yes.
Now
We don't wanna ruin
we
it.
Are
This is
not,
not a
we are not
spoiler.
shy to spoil movies out of on this movie, but are on
This
this show.
one.
But on this one,
Yeah.
there's been a couple where we're like, oh, we have to not because
have to not.
It's not going to be worth watching if we
Yeah.
spoil these
Yeah.
couple things. But there are
It'll still
great
be worth
things.
it. I'll
It's
watch
great.
it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's that good. good.
Yeah.
But the surprise of some of these twists was just, I went, they didn't. That's amazing.
It's almost like as surprising as Slither was. I did not give two fucks
So
about
good.
Slither. I now own Slither. That's how much I like it.
Same thing.
It's kind of one of the.
I loved
so
it,
if you've
though.
seen Slither and you can't decide about Feast and you liked Slither, watch Feast because you'll
Yeah.
like this. But
Yeah.
there's a
it's so
little bit
good.
less tongue in cheek, like cheeky jokes in Feast. But there's still some, but not as
There
much
are
as
some.
Slither.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Oh,
if
watch
you like
it.
surprises
Yeah.
like Slither, then you're gonna like Feast.
I feel like Feast it's one of those movies where the guys who wrote it had seen 100 horror films. They know the conventions. They know what's supposed to happen. They know everything that's expected. And so they set it all up and you go, okay, here we go. And then one by one,
And
they
they
knock
just-
those things down.
Yeah.
And it never feels cheap. You never feel like you're going, oh, I bet they do this because they're knocking all of the stuff down. No, they do
They
some
do it pretty
things that-
genuinely. Yeah.
When it happens, when things happen, you're like, oh shit, I didn't
Yeah.
think
Well,
that
because
would
they'll
happen.
set it up and then then you're trying to decide if they're gonna go with it or not.
Yeah.
So they'll set it up,
It's
they'll knock it
great.
over, or they'll go with the convention. It's interesting. It's a very fascinating movie. I highly recommend it.
It was made by Project Greenlight. Now, if you don't remember that, this was back in like 2000,
Early
Middle
2000s,
2000,
yeah.
early,
Yeah.
early 2000s. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon and some other guy. They said
They
we
got
should make some
screenwriter
movies. So
and
they held a
direct-
contest.
Yeah.
It was like in like conjunction with like Pepsi and Mountain Dew, correct?
Weird.
Yeah, and
Like-
they do a contest, and
Yeah.
you would they made a TV show of it, and you'd like compete like a reality show to try and get your script made and try to be the director of the movie.
Right.
And so while Feast, which was picked, was being made, there was like a whole nother camera crew filming them
The
making the
TV
movie.
show.
Oh, nice.
Which
Well-
probably, it's a first time director, it probably was the worst experience. You know, could you imagine it's your first chance to make a movie, it's make or break it. If this movie sucks, you're done.
And then you have the added pressure of a fucking film
Yeah.
crew following your
Every
move.
mistake you
Oh,
make, they're
God.
filming it and they're
Yeah.
putting it on TV. This guy, and I remember seeing an episode or two, and they would literally have like interviews on the show where they're like, "This guy doesn't know what he's doing. This director's
Yeah.
a piece of shit."
They
And
were
that they
really
turned around
harsh.
and somehow still made, I
Yeah.
think, a really cool movie.
It was a really cool movie. I enjoyed the shit out of it. I'm glad we finally got around to talking about it. We
Thank you, Amanda.
Yeah, me too.
Great
Thanks. It
recommendation.
was super.
Now we got to pick another movie that we'll pretend to watch, and then. Sorry, we forgot.
We'll forget
oh,
about-
we can do Oscar next because
Oscar,
Oscar's
that's
been
right.
recommended.
That's
The Sylvester Stallone one.
It looks terrible. Oh
Yeah.
my god! Who?
Adam recommended it.
Thank you, Adam.
Via
Yeah.
Twitter. So we'll get around
We'll
to
get right
Oscar.
around
to that.
Wink, wink.
We'll
Yeah.
watch it.
Can't
We'll watch
wait.
It.
So.
Hello.
Oh, Feast.
I watched one this week just out of curiosity, mostly because of what the title was described. It was called Super.
Mm-hmm.
And
James Gunn directed.
Yeah, James Gunn
Who
movie.
did Slither?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I looked him up. I was like, I know that name, but I cannot fucking think of what he made.
And he's doing Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes,
the new
he's working
Marvel
on the
movie.
new, and that's still animated now, correct?
No, it's
that's-
live action.
Okay, because the original announcement was that it was possibly going to be animated. Okay,
It should be live action.
cool. This one it attracted me by the one-line description of it and the people that were in it. Rainn Wilson's in it, which nobody knows who that is. Dwight from The Office is in it. Kevin Bacon is in it. Liv Tyler
Nice.
is in it.
Kevin Bacon's good in that,
Kevin
isn't
Bacon
he?
is
I
really
forgot-
good in
I
this.
forgot,
And
yeah.
then I saw Ellen Page. I was like, oh no. And then I was like, well, maybe she'll have a small part. Fingers
Oh.
crossed.
No, she has
She's
a big
in
part.
like 3/4,
She's-
about 3/4 of it.
She's yeah.
I thought Ellen Page was really funny, but if you don't like Ellen Page, then she'll bug
She
you. Yeah.
was out of control, ADD, like
Yeah.
hopped up on like full throttles and Red Bulls and rock stars. Like she probably had like 12 of those. She was just out of her mind.
Right.
And annoyed the shit out of me. I just couldn't
Sounds
get
like
over.
good acting to me.
I couldn't get over. Honestly, Thomas,
I mean, it was
for
her
all the
character.
shitty movies that you like, you probably will like this.
Oh, no, so you think it's shitty? A shitty movie?
No, the her shitty character.
Oh, okay.
I thought her character was just annoying.
See, I loved Super. I thought Super was
I thought
surprisingly good.
There's
and I thought Rainn Wilson did the best
Wilson
acting I've
great.
ever seen him do.
I liked. So he is he's a regular guy, and it starts off and he describes 2 great moments in his life because he can only think of 2 because he's only had 2 great things happen to him. One of them was getting married to his wife, which is Liv Tyler, and the other one he's standing at a market stand. He's looking at like some apples and whatnot, and a dude comes running around him and into a grocery store. And he's got a bag, and he's obviously running from the cops. And then a cop comes about 2 seconds later, and he goes, "Officer, he went in there," and he said, "Thanks, buddy," and he runs in. He's like, "Yeah," and he's like, so he draws himself in these moments, like he tries to capture these moments. So he draws them with colored pencils, and he goes to show them to Liv Tyler. He's like, "Look," she's like, "Well, what are those?" He's like, "These are the 2 greatest moments of my life." She looks at him for 2 seconds, and she's like, "Everyone's hands are too big," so he gets out the whiteout and redraws the hands like really tiny. And then it goes downhill from there. Liv Tyler is a recovering drug addict, hardcore drug addict, and Kevin Bacon's some sort of pusher, and he convinces her to relapse, and he takes her away from him, and he wants to like try and get her back, so he decides to put on this suit because he gets touched by the hand of God. And when you think of being touched by the hand of God, like this dude literally stone cold sober in his rooms just sitting there, and these fucking tentacles come out of the wall, slit his brain open, pull it back, and this finger comes out of the fucking roof and touch his brain. He literally gets touched by the hand of God.
Because he's crazy.
Because he is fucking batshit crazy. And Nathan Fillion is amazing in this movie. He did not have a big enough part, but
who is Fillion?
He was the Christian superhero on TV that he kept on watching.
Of course he is.
If Fillion's in it, I might have to watch it.
I thought it was great.
He's only in like 4 scenes, but all 4 scenes are really great. And his superhero, he's like in this bright yellow costume with blue spandexy underwear with a bright blue like big cross, and he keeps on talking about our Savior Jesus Christ, and they're really, really cheesy. James Gunn plays the devil in those scenes, and I don't want to spoil too much if you guys are interested in watching it, but you go from there and it just gets worse and worse. He decides he needs to have like a weapon because he can't really do anything. He bumps into Ellen Page. She works at a comic book store. I could never decide if she was like the manager or just like a really shitty employee there. Either way, she's always there, and she gets like fascinated by him because he comes in. He's this really off the wall guy, and he starts buying comic books. But what was the first ones he buys? He's like, "I need some comic books," and he's like really quiet about it. He's like, I need some comic books, and then he comes back. He's like, "I need to read some comic books that feature superheroes that don't have actual superpowers." And then so he decides to get this pipe wrench and paints it red and just beats the fuck out of everybody with it.
Yeah, it's
he beats somebody up for cutting in line at the movie theater.
It's a comedy, but
It's
dark. Really
it's a dark comedy.
It gets brutal.
And Ellen Page.
And they kill fuckers. They kill people.
It's a redeeming, as far as Ellen Page being in it, I don't mind. It was a redeeming quality because they kill her in a very, very graphic and brutal way. So I'm very excited. I'm sorry I'm boring you, Jared.
No,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I like to give you shit. But there's some good twists and turns throughout it. Kevin Bacon does a great job. He's an interesting fella.
He's good.
I gave it 3 stars on the Netflix. I liked it. I couldn't.
I gave it 4.
I couldn't give it that 4th because of Ellen Page and how much she annoyed me.
I talked to Derek Yon once, and he was like, I couldn't get through it. So some people might just hate it.
Yeah, and I ignored it, but I had a hard time ignoring her.
Okay.
Because I enjoyed I really enjoyed the movie. Just it was really ruined by her. She really annoys me for some reason. I can't figure out why.
She's okay for me.
Yeah, but
Shadowcat.
Watch it. You should watch it.
Kitty Pryde. She's gonna play Kitty Pryde.
Is she
in the
really?
New X-Men. You know that, right?
Is she?
Yeah.
Is the Days of Future Past or whatever?
Yeah, and the guy that played Colossus in like X-Men 2 and 3 that had like one line, "Come with me, kids," or whatever he says. He's in. They got that same actor too.
They didn't even attempt to make him Russian, did they?
I
don't remember a Russian accent.
I'm doing the Russian accent because
Well, no,
he should have one.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say Colossus is Russian.
Then you guys watched what? Wrong?
Well, you
Finally?
mentioned it, and I
watched
rented
it already.
Oh my gosh, Wrong is so cool. It's so weird and just
it's
weird.
Yeah.
beyond.
And don't expect to go in and just see like a rip-roaring movie that has a story that makes any sense at all. It doesn't.
It's not supposed to. The trailer leaves you like, what?
Yeah, it's that weird.
Yeah.
Your pine tree was here. Now it's a.
No, it's a palm
Christmas
tree.
Yeah.
No, it's a
palm
palm
tree.
tree.
It's
It's a Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he has a
Oh my
palm
gosh.
tree, and one day his gardener comes and talks to him, and he's like, it's become a pine tree. And he's like, well, this doesn't look good. Can we change that back or something? Like, there's just conversations like that, and there's no logic
And
to it at all.
his neighbor across the street. The first
Oh, his
time we
neighbor.
meet him, and he can't talk across the road, so he makes him come across the street. It's
Come
just-
here. You're too far away.
It's just
Come here.
awkward
Come here.
and fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
No closer.
so
Here.
weird.
Okay, let's
Right
talk.
here.
It's so weird.
I'm
and
leaving. I'm just
And he's
just
like,
gonna
yeah,
leave.
I'm just gonna drive. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I'm
And
just
like
gonna drive.
he just
He does
drives.
drive,
He's in
yeah.
the middle of nowhere. I'm just kind of
He drives to the end of the world.
out.
Remember when he's like, yeah, I've seen you go jogging in the morning. He goes, I don't go jogging. I hate jogging. Jogging's stupid. And then later he calls up and he's like, I don't know why I can't admit that I like jogging.
Yeah.
It's like the weirdest stuff.
Yeah.
But all of that's beyond because
it's
Same guy
just-
that does
William Fichtner,
Rubber. Same
Rubber,
guy as
yes,
Rubber.
same director as Rubber, same writer as Rubber, but William Fichtner
Yeah.
plays this guy.
Sean Penn too. He just looks like Sean Penn.
He does
Well,
look like Sean
he
Penn.
was in Rubber. He was the guy that pushed the cart. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Oh, was
he
he?
was
Okay.
super. He's so super in
Okay.
this role. He does such a good job.
Oh, and you might be interested to know if you've seen Wrong that there's a cop in this movie. He's in like 2 scenes.
Yeah.
Do you remember where like he pulls the bus over and the bus driver's like,
Yeah.
Are you gonna get on? He's like, no. I just pulled you over here and then I'm not getting on because I don't like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that
Yeah.
cop freaked the director out so much. Like it was so interesting to the director that as soon as the movie was done, he says, "I want to make a movie with you as that cop." So there's a sequel. It's called Wrong Cop, and it's just about the cop from Wrong.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it hasn't come out
Yeah.
yet. It hasn't been released yet, but it's been made.
Pretty cool.
Wow. I'll have to watch that. Yeah, and where he works,
It rains.
The works in the rain.
it just rains, and like everyone, and that one dude that doesn't like him just sitting there and rains.
Yeah, and he just stares at him.
And it just rains.
Yeah.
They don't talk about it. They don't really. It's not an
They
issue.
act like it's nothing.
This guy?
no,
That's
he's
the
not
director.
the cop. Or that's somebody.
That's somebody else. No.
That's not the cop
That's
though.
something.
That's Marilyn Manson.
No.
What,
Yeah,
wasn't?
that is.
Is it?
That's
Who's-
Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, that is Marilyn Manson.
Oh, no.
I think
Okay.
he's in Wrong Cops. Yeah, he's in Wrong Cops.
That's ridiculous.
But,
No way.
Yeah.
I think it
God.
might be that
That's
cop
him,
at,
too.
at the
Yeah.
top. If you go clear to the
That's-
top of the screen here, you see that guy with the headphones
Yeah, right
on?
there.
It might be that guy.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like he's just. You've never seen him before. He's not an actor you've ever seen before. He just had this small part, but he's so his way of moving
Yeah.
and talking is so unique and strange that But this movie, it's worth watching just to listen to them have a conversation.
Nice.
Marilyn Manson.
Mark Burnham and Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, Mark Burnham's
filmed
the
by
cop.
Quentin Dupleix.
Yeah, so that's the guy that did Rubber and he did Wrong, and now he's done Wrong Cops.
Cool.
It's worth watching if you're up for something a little quirky
That
that,
is
doesn't
weird.
necessarily have to make sense, but
It
it's
won't
still
make
really
But it'll
entertaining.
make you laugh.
It'll make
really
you laugh.
Just because you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
And the pizza with the rabbit on the moped. Isn't the rabbit already fast?
Yeah,
Does he
isn't
need a
it?
moped?
wow, I never thought of that. I guess so.
I know,
Yeah.
and the girl on the phone, and she gets with the gardener.
Oh, God, yeah.
And William Fichtner's the best though
And
with
she's
his with
nuts.
Fichtner.
She's cuckoo.
The girl's crazy. But when he's like,
She wants to, like, be with them, like, the first, like...
Oh, you
I've
look
talked
like
to
you
you-
look more
Yeah.
like you did yesterday.
Oh, it is
I'm
you!
horrible.
Yeah.
I'm so bad.
the movie's
it's
crazy.
It's great.
It's crazy, but you know what? There's nothing wrong with sitting down and just watching a movie that makes no sense. It's just images and conversations that are interesting.
Yeah.
And you spend the whole movie going, what
Kevin
is
Smith
happening?
movie.
And
But
you've
it's-
been
it's
saying
good.
William Fichtner over and over, but he does this fantastically weird accent.
It's an accent you've
And it's-
never heard before because it's
No.
not a real... He
It's not
invented it
real.
for this movie.
It's just...
What's his name? Mr. Chang?
Yeah.
And he's not Asian at all. Half his face is acid
Doesn't he
melted.
have a little ponytail?
And he's got a
a
ponytail.
little rat tail.
Yeah.
And he explains he got his face
I think
acided.
it's a rat tail.
A rat
I think it's a
tail.
rat tail, but it's like
Yeah.
really weird. Yeah.
Yeah, when he says, when I was 16, a friend dared me to pour acid on my face, so I did. And luckily, I stopped after a while, but now I realize I miss my face, so
Yeah.
it helped me to learn to love my face.
So
Well,
weird.
in like
I
the
love it.
limo meeting, like I need you to
Yeah.
sit. Like he can't get out of the limo until like a certain time, and then just gets out and then just starts walking in the woods. Like not like, come on, we need to go. Like
Just bolts into the woods. Yeah, it's so weird
It's
and
great.
good.
It's great.
good.
It
Not
was-
on Netflix, but you can rent it for $3.99 on
Just
Amazon
buy it
Prime.
for $5.99.
Buy it for $5.99.
$3 extra bucks, and you can watch it twice.
There you go. So
2.
now,
It's good. It's weird, but
now,
good.
should we talk about anything that's coming up? We've got Despicable Me coming out tonight, or is it tomorrow?
It's opened. It must, because I was seeing money coming in, like
okay.
news on the money, and
Yeah.
apparently Despicable Me 2 has made twice as much so far on opening day as Lone Ranger.
Oh wow!
Lone Ranger, let's talk Lone Ranger for a second. It cost more than any other movie has ever cost. It's the most expensive movie ever.
really.
$350 million production. That does not include all of the $150 million they put into advertising.
Publicity. Yeah.
It's not going to make the money. That's my prediction.
Now,
People just aren't super. Oh, and all the reviews are saying that tonally it's crazy. Now, we haven't seen it yet, but they're saying that it has this kind of wacky 5-year-old comedy.
Like the
in one
trailers that we
scene,
see.
And then the very next scene, William Fichtner's in Lone Ranger 2, he's the villain. In the next scene, Fichtner will cut the heart out of a guy and eat it in front of him. Like, that's the kind of... So if I bring my
Way to
5-year-old...
go, Disney.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to do with it.
now, first of all, I think this website is playing some music in the background. Now, first of all, how do you get a completely who gives a shit title to spend almost $500 million on it to put it in front of us?
Here's how. You go... Okay, Gore Verbinski, who directed it, made Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
which
all,
people-
Johnny-
all 86 of them, yes.
with
Right,
Johnny
Johnny
Depp.
Depp.
But the original one, if you can go back in time to when the original one came out,
It's genius. That's the only one
we
I
were
own.
all convinced. Everyone in the world was convinced that no one would go see that movie, because why would I go see a movie based on a ride at fucking Disneyland? That's
True.
stupid.
That's true.
There was no reason to
those
see
exact
it.
words came out of my mouth.
There was
I
no
agree.
reason to see it. We all went and saw it anyway for whatever reason. And Johnny Depp's pirate, Jack Sparrow, was so different than anything we'd ever seen. Like, everyone watched the first Pirates and was like, that guy was amazing. He was like a kind of drunk, almost gay pirate, and somehow he was awesome, right? He was awesome.
Yeah.
It took us by surprise. And so then the other movies that followed, which weren't nearly as good, but they all made money, even though each one got $50 million more expensive to make than the previous. And so they're thinking...
Sorry, go ahead.
No one cares about the Lone Ranger, but with Johnny Depp and Gore Verbinski back together, Disney was willing to lay the money down.
Yeah.
They thought they could
because
get
they
away
figured
with it.
they'd make money.
So
Yeah.
basically, those two paired together, they think it's a match made in heaven, whatever.
They think it's made in heaven, but the amount of money they put in, they'll make it back eventually. They'll make I bet they make 150 million here in America total.
They'll make it back in international.
And then international
2.5
they'll make a couple hundred.
hours?
And then they'll do
Jeez.
DVDs and eventually. Oh, that's the other thing. What 5-year-old who's going to laugh at their stupid jokes
For 2.5
wants to sit for 2.5 hours?
That's ridiculous.
So we'll see. I haven't seen it, so I can't say. Maybe it'll be my favorite movie ever. But I'm.
Oh, we're watching it.
And you know what?
We're gonna
Armie
go see
Hammer,
it.
who plays the Lone
Oh,
Ranger.
we like Armie
I
Hammer.
like him. I think he's a
He's
really
about the
cool
only
actor.
good thing I can see from here.
And then their publicity though is pushing Johnny Depp the whole way. It's the Lone Ranger's eyes thing, but it's the crow and it's Johnny Depp's eyes.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
why?
Because Johnny
shit.
Depp's their face. He's the face.
you mean this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's classic.
It's just like, okay.
Look, Hollywood has
Don't mention the
shifted in
actual
some ways,
Lone
right?
Ranger?
Like in the original Lone Ranger on TV, it was about the Lone Ranger. Tonto was just his buddy that would walk up. I mean, Tonto was such a nothing that they called him the Lone Ranger, right? He's all
Yeah.
alone. Oh, it's the
Oh yeah,
guy, but who gives a crap?
dude? Yeah.
So now, Johnny Depp in a more modern society says, I think Tonto should be the guy who's actually talented and skilled and interesting, so I want to play that guy.
Do you see Green Hornet? That, but a Western.
Yeah, that's exactly what they said.
Ooh,
We'll see if it
yeah.
works.
And to be honest, I think the title doesn't. I mean, as far as if you're just talking about the mask with
I'm just
Crow and
talking
stuff,
like, why wouldn't
I
you
was gonna say
have-
I kind of think it's cool. I mean, as far as it's a good mix of showing, yes, it's the Lone Ranger's mask, but with the Indian war paint or whatever. It's,
Yeah,
Doesn't
but
he look great?
that's just
Army
more like
Hammer.
kind of focusing
Army
on
Hammer is
Looks
awesome.
Johnny
awesome.
Depp.
Do you guys
And
recognize
not
Army Hammer?
Army Hammer.
he's kind of a bigger.
From
He was in
Facebook,
the Facebook movie.
Social Network. He
Yes.
was the twins.
He was one of the
He
twins.
was the twin.
That's right.
He was both of the
or both
twins.
the twins. Sorry.
Just
Sorry.
one of them.
I never watched that.
Yeah, he plays twins.
Forgot. Yeah.
He was also in the TV show we used to watch, Reaper. Remember that? He was the evil.
No, you're kidding
He was
me.
the kind of evil brother of the main guy, the
That's
son of Satan.
awesome. Reaper. Oh my gosh.
You guys
That
remember
was
that?
such a good show.
Did you
Never
guys
heard
watch
of that.
Reaper? It was on for 2 seasons.
Nope.
So the idea is that this
Oh,
kid,
yeah.
his parents sell his soul to the devil
When he was a baby.
when he's a baby, so that when
Yeah.
he turns 21, he has to work for the devil collecting souls.
And the
that have
devil
escaped from
is-
Sam.
No.
Ray Wise.
Ray Wise, who plays the best devil
Ray
I've
Wise
ever
is the best
seen.
devil ever.
And he works as a reaper, sending souls back to hell.
Yeah,
and
just click on that
it's
picture there.
awesome.
That's the one that says Reaper. Yeah.
yeah, the couch picture.
See,
Oh, nice.
So there's
There's
Ray
the
Wise
devil,
and
and
the two
there's-
kids.
it's,
It's his best friend on the
Brett
side.
Harrison
Fucking
and
Yeah.
Tyler.
Jurassic Park guy. What's his name?
Tyler
Sam
No,
Nielsen.
no, it's not Sam
no,
Neill.
that's not.
No, it's Ray Wise.
Ray Wise was in
Holy
Twin
shit.
Peaks.
I need glasses because that looks like Sam Neill from back here.
he's
Yeah,
close. I
alike.
can see it.
They look kind of like.
I don't know. Pick another picture with.
Well,
closest to him.
it's such a good. It was great.
I love this kid.
Yeah, isn't
This
he
is the
great?
first thing he was in.
Yes.
He was fucking hilarious. We watched
He's-
Reaper and we'd go, "That guy's amazing."
Hilarious.
Did anybody see a good old fashioned orgy?
No, but
He's
I
the
saw
only funny
in
part
that.
of that movie.
Dale and
He's
Tucker.
hilarious.
Yes, Dale and Tucker. Yeah.
Down Tucker was good.
He's great.
He was also in Sons of Tucson that got kicked off.
Yes, we
off
saw
of
that
Fox,
too.
which
We
I
watched
actually
it
really
because
liked.
of him.
I really liked that
Yeah.
show.
And it could have been better if they'd let him go
Yeah.
further and not
Yeah.
made it such a sitcom. Yeah. So anyway, Reaper was good, but Army Hammer played a minor character in season 2. So that's where we first saw him.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a TV show. If you get a chance, it's actually really
He's
fun.
got
It's
a
great.
great cameo in Zack and Mary Make a Porno too. He's like, football! Football! He stumbles in drunk. He's like, "Ugh. You guys see the game? He's great. I love this kid.
Yeah.
Tyler Labine.
Labine, yeah.
He's great. I love him. He's
She was on End of Watch. That's where we know her from.
who? What do you? I can't see.
Click on the girl right there. Yeah,
This
there.
one?
We're watching End of Watch, and I kept going, where do I know her from? She's one of the cops, the 2 girl cops.
Yeah, she's awful.
She's not
She
America
cannot-
Ferrera. She's the other
the
one.
other one. She cannot. She's like watching paint dry. She cannot act with a shit. Did you notice that? Like, if you watch her, if she's not talking, she doesn't know what to do. Like, there's a couple.
Really?
There's
I
a couple.
didn't
Really?
notice.
I
There's a
didn't
couple
notice. I
different.
didn't
There's a
I'm
couple
just
different
starting
parts
to
where
think
he
that
has.
you have something against female actresses.
Yeah,
Or
sexist.
female actors. Which
Yeah.
are also known as
she-
actresses.
Hello.
I thought she did pretty good as like the
I have something
the
against
mannish,
male actresses.
the mannish.
No, but if you go back and if you ever give it a second chance, I don't know if there's ever a point to watch it again. But if you happen to go back and watch it again, watch her when she doesn't have lines. She literally
No,
does not know what to do
Did
with
you
herself.
stop?
No,
She's like,
Robot down.
Oh, I'm not watching End of Watch again.
dude, I'd have to disagree.
way.
I don't think that was that big of a deal.
No way.
I don't think she was on the screen long enough to.
That's a good picture of Ray,
Merit.
Ray Wise right there.
Yeah.
Which
that
one?
That one.
this one.
Was he in that
Oh,
Mel
he's like
Gibson
the
movie?
same size.
Wish
I
you could
hate
make
when
it
you do
big.
that.
I know.
I know.
He's very orange.
Damn it! Thanks for nothing, Googles.
Yeah.
I forgot about one. It won't take me very long to review it because it was so fucking weird. I watched one with the entire cast of Bridesmaids almost, called Friends with Kids.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I know what that is.
Why haven't I seen that?
Because you don't add stuff to your queue.
it
Comedy
has
Bang Bang.
Comedy Bang Bang.
It has Kristen Wiig. It has John Hamm, and John Hamm's wife actually wrote it and directed it.
Juan Hamon?
Oh, wow, now,
It's about everybody's. These guys are all friends.
Adam Scott, Maya
I
Rudolph.
love Adam
I love Adam Scott. Adam
Oh.
Scott's great.
Really good actors there.
Maya
Chris
Rudolph,
O'Dowd was
Kristen
in.
Wiig.
Right. So this
Wiig.
is basically.
That looks good.
Yeah,
Add,
let's
like,
watch it.
if you added Adam Scott to Bridesmaids, then this was the cast of Bridesmaids almost. So Kristen
I see that,
Kristen
actually,
Wiig,
yeah.
Kristen Wiig is married to John Hamm. Chris O'Dowd is married to Maya Rudolph, and then Adam Scott, and I don't know how to say her name.
Jennifer.
Jennifer Westfeldt.
They're friends. All of their friends have a kid, starting with Maya Rudolph and Chris O'Dowd, and then Kristen Wiig and John Hamm have a kid, and like it instantly like ruins their dynamic. Like all of their friend, like all of their fun nights out, they're pretty much over.
Like in real life.
It was
Absolutely.
very, very real life. All of them, they try to have them over for like the first time in a long time because of the kids or whatever, and they get there and it's a Maya Rudolph's and Chris O'Dowd's place, and the house is a fucking disaster. They're on time, but everyone in the house is running late because of the kids, and like so Adam Scott and this Jennifer gal's characters, they decide, well, we are friends enough and mature enough to. So let's have a kid as well, so that we're not the third wheel out, but we're gonna remove the romance out of it and the sex out of it. We're just gonna do this as friends. And they're like, well, how are we gonna go about this? So they end up drinking a bunch of wine and actually do it the old-fashioned way, and then they end up being friends, and then they try to remain friends, and then that's where it gets weird because she starts to kind of fall for him, and then it seems
Women. Always
shit.
falling for men.
It seems formulaic a little bit, and then it starts to like every time you're like, oh well, this is where it's gonna go. It doesn't. So
Okay.
it's different. I forgot to rate it. I only gave it 3 stars because it's fucking tedious to watch. It's one of those ones.
You had me sold, and then you're like, oh, and by the way, this movie sucks.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't suck. It just the entire movie is about Adam Scott and this Jennifer gal's poor decision that they made in the first 10 minutes of the movie, and that decision is the theme of the whole rest of the thing. There's some great jokes throughout it. There's some great things that happen. If you want to see a comedy that doesn't have anything to do with a normal comedy, select this one, give it a try. Kristen Wiig, I think, was a little underutilized. She didn't have very many good lines. She wasn't crazy. She played it very, very straight for her. She had a couple funny lines, but not that much. Chris O'Dowd, he had some great one-liners through the whole thing. I would say watch it with the intent of keeping in mind that you're going to get a little bit annoyed by the premise by the time it's finally over.
Okay.
But it was very interesting for a good change of pace and seeing something that you're not really expecting. So, I watched that one really, really late at night. One night, it was one of those ones where, again, I was like, well, it's late, but it's not quite late enough. I'm going to give something a shot. That came across Reddit. I liked all those people, put it on, and enjoyed it most of the way through. And by the time the third act is starting to wrap up, I'm like, thank Christ, this is finally starting to wrap up.
Well, it looks long, an hour and 47 minutes.
It was lengthy. There's probably a good 20 minutes total that probably could have chopped it out of it, that could have moved it along. Decent movie, very different premise. Watch it if you like something different.
Okay. Sounds good.